What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Berry, host Mo Berry, and welcome back to Monday's Motivation. All right, you guys, this topic is going to sort of piggyback off of last week's topic, don't let your late become your never. And the reason why it's going to piggyback off of it is because some of you who are pursuing or some of you who are doing may feel that the role you're in or the opportunity you have, you might not actually be good for it. You kind of feel like an imposter. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what you would call imposter syndrome. So let me explain. For me personally, I interpret imposter syndrome as I'm in a role, I'm in a position that is quite good, quite beneficial, but I'm feeling like I'm not good enough for this role, or I'm not doing enough in this role to warrant my position or warrant my worth, and that could come from maybe mistakes that were made that you feel like, oh, I could have handled this better or should have handled better. This could come from your surrounding, your work environment. People around you could be making you feel like you're not good enough or doing enough. Raise your hand if you've experienced those type of people, And so because of these effects, you start to feel like you're not good enough, or that your resume isn't matching your skill set, or that your skill set, is not matching your resume. Your resume sounds like you're quite qualified, but in actuality, in your heart, you might feel like you're not. But guess what? That's not your fault. That's not your fault. It's because a lot of us, especially those who work in corporate, are unfortunately surrounded by a lot of office politics and people who purposely try to make you feel like you don't deserve your role. Could it be because they want your role, or could it be because they want someone else to have your role? I don't know. But many of times, it's not you. So what can you do to conquer your imposter syndrome? What can you do to stop feeling you're not good enough in a role or a position or you're not worth the opportunity that you were given? First, what you could do is catch it. Catch that thought. Catch those negative spiraling thoughts and acknowledge it. Acknowledge it and say, okay, you know what? Right now I'm experiencing imposter syndrome and I need to stop. I need to stop in my tracks, take a deep breath, and understand why I'm in the role that I'm in. You're in the role that you're in because you were chosen. You were chosen for this. Someone thought you were good enough. And guess what? You're good enough. We have to reward ourselves in whatever it is that we're doing because of our accomplishments, because of our accomplishments, really. You have to think on those things which are good. Think on those things which you have done that has caused you to be in the position that you are in, and the position you are in, I'm sure, has warranted much success. I'm sure if you really took the time to think about it, you could say, yeah, I'm pretty good at my job. I'm pretty good at what I'm doing. Someone is positively benefiting from this in some way. I've made someone proud, and those are the things that we need to think on. So if you ever feel like you are just not good enough, not qualified enough, stop yourself in those tracks. Acknowledge, all right, this is what I'm feeling, but then reward yourself by thinking on those good things that you have accomplished in your role, in your position, and how many people are benefiting from you. I can personally feel this way or say that I felt this way working in the corporate side of hospitality, because unfortunately I was surrounded by people that tried to make me feel like I wasn't good enough or I wasn't doing enough. Despite how many successful events I have executed, they always tried to make me feel like I wasn't good enough. But I had to stop myself and realize, you know what? It's not me. It's them. Something is wrong with them. They are miserable. Okay? These people are 9 times out of 10 miserable. And how does the saying go? Misery loves company. They want you to fall into their misery so they're not alone. But one thing about me is, even if things started to look shaky, I always try not to panic. I always try not to panic and, spiral out of control. Because one, people want to see you do that. People want to see you spiral out of control because there's a lot of haters, y'all. There are a lot of haters in this world. So people want to see you spiral out of control. They want to see you fail. But that's why your strength has to endure. You have to raise yourself up and say, no, I am good enough. I was chosen for a reason. And I'm going to do the best that I can with the resources, the guidance, and the education that I have. And I'm not talking about a degree. Many people who have degrees, yes, they rely on their degree. But for me, I didn't have a degree in hospitality. I didn't. And a lot of people thought, why is she put in this role when she doesn't even have a degree? But little did they know, I had 10 plus years of hospitality experience. I've seen it all. I've done it all. So I had learned to conquer those skill sets that I needed to execute an event. But it never failed. For some people, it just was never good enough. And they always tried to make me feel like I wasn't good enough. And that caused me to have imposter syndrome. But like I said, folks, whenever you start to feel this way, stop yourself. Acknowledge it and say, I am good enough. Reward yourself for your accomplishments. Reward yourself for the role that you are in, because you were chosen for a reason. So I hope this made somebody's day. Anyone feeling like they're not good enough in something that it is they're doing, just know that you are good enough. We are all given gifts and abilities that will allow us to make our mark wherever we are. Okay? So stay tuned, you guys, for next Monday's motivation. I hope each and every one of you are having a prosperous day.